back to my channel, it's Sidhu here. Today I'm going to review Solo Leveling Season 2, episode number 2. It was fun, it was a fun episode. Just to give a small review, quick review. But to go deeper into that, I'm going to cover the 4 elements. Basically, the first 3 elements are going to be the main 3 elements: animation, music, and screenplay direction. And the 4th, I'm going to end the video by mentioning my favorite moments and 5 favorite moments in fights and favorite moments in talkative scenes too. So yeah, first of all I want to quickly cover the music part because I'm not an expert in music, so I'm just going to point out the things that I have noticed and I liked it being there and everything. So one of it is the music that was ringing in my ear in the scene of when the A rank character, the A rank hunter, who is trapped in the dungeon with Sanjin Woo, who is running away from the ice elves, gets psychotic, like the screen zooms in on his face and he thinks that the low rank hunters are betraying him and holding all the gears and everything. So the music there, it was fun, it was a lot of fun. Not fun actually, no, that's not the right word. It was eerie, that's what I want to say. Like it was entertaining, but it was eerie. It was like I could understand his psychic state at that moment. So music definitely helped there. And the second moment when the music elevated the scene a lot was when the two S rank hunters were about to fight each other. I'm going to get into that in the future, like further into the video when I'm explaining about talking about the screenplay and the direction. But yeah, that was cool. So those two moments stood out for me. Like the music really took over the scene and elevated it. So that was cool. And again, I already spoken about the opening and the ending song in my first review, episode 1's review. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. So yeah, music is done there. If I remember something else, I will talk about it. There is no script here. I'm just talking right after watching the episode and just giving out my fresh thoughts. So that's how the video is going to be. So if you're interested in that, please stick around. Anyway, so music is done. Now animation. Coming back to the animation, man, what can I say? This is Solo Leveling. Of course, they knocked it out of the park, and more fully in this episode. Of course, the episode 1's animation and everything was beautiful, but wow, they did not hold back in this episode. The whole battle scene and the battle scene lasted for such a long time. Like it was basically the whole second half of the anime was the battle scene. So yeah, they did a crazy great job. And basically the fight between the Ice Elf boss and Sanjin Woo, the whole fight, like they quickly set up the fact that Sanjin Woo was weaker. So weaker comparatively, like him personally was weaker to the Ice Elf boss, and that is going to play out when I'm going to talk about the Arise scene, basically, that he tried to do, the extraction scene. But yeah, he was weaker, so he had to use his brain now, not only overpower character like basically rush him or anything. He had to use his mind and everything. And he, again, a little bit of luck also helped him, so which I'm also going to talk more about. So quickly completing this section of the video, basically talking about the animation. It was amazing. The moment where the animation really stood out was basically the fight between, again, as I said, the Ice Elves and Sanjin Woo. Like their whole hand-to-hand combat, it was very crisp, and like each and every frame, like they did, like I can notice when the studio is trying to cut corners, not the studio, but the animators are trying to cut corners and basically trying to hide the action in colors and lights and everything. But no, every movement, every piece of movement, like even when the High Self boss was basically rolling around in the air and trying to roll kick and or dodge or anything, every frame was clear. I did not pause and check, of course, but to my naked eye, as a regular viewer, it was amazing. Like I was trying to find some animation black spots where they might have skipped something, but I could not find it. At least I could not find it. Maybe if you guys did, please mention them in the comments. But that was cool. So yeah, that, and again when Igris entered and the tank entered, Iron, I'm going to talk more about him. But all those three's combination, him like at the last moment when Sanjin Woo stabs him here, like even then the Ice Elf King tries to retaliate. Iron getting summoned behind him and about to hit him with his huge weapon. It was cool. Like the whole summoning animation, it was so smooth. The angle was smooth and everything. And that brings me to the third section of this video, which is screenplay and direction. There are a lot of things to talk about here, so I'm going to go one by one. First of all, luckiness. It is not a coincidence that they have mentioned it in both the episode 1 and episode 2, about Sun Jin Woo being lucky. Wong said it. His friend, the White Tiger Guild's assistant, that guy said it. And again, in this episode, they mentioned it again that Sun Jin Woo was lucky. And we can see that playing out in this episode also. Like the Ice Elf King or Ice Elf boss, I'm going to call him the boss. And the boss was about to ambush Sun Jin Woo and about to overpower him because he was more powerful than Sun Jin Woo. Sun Jin Woo himself has admitted it. It was lucky that the A-rank guy, the A-rank hunter, stood up and started attacking Sun Jin Woo also. So he used him at the last moment and basically got a huge tank as in his repertoire of weapons. So he killed him. Sun Jin Woo killed him and got a huge tank, a huge support in the fight with the boss. And even boss mentioned it. He said it was a cheap trick. So that was cool. Like the boss realized that this was going to be like a little bit more difficult now, because Sun Jin Woo basically has a tank now beside him. So that was lucky. The A-rank and hunter did mention that maybe Sun Jin Woo did calculate all of these things, and it was all part of his calculation, all part of his plan, that he was going to attack him, then he was going to use that. Maybe I'm skeptical. As you would have gathered from the title itself, I have read Manhwa. I read Manhwa way long back ago, maybe 5 years ago, way into the storyline. So I do know all the major plot lines that are going to happen and major arcs and their results, but I have completely forgot the minute details, the minute storylines that take place in the anime. So I'm in the middle of a original anime blind watcher and an manhwa reader, so I can't call myself both, and that's why I'm reviewing it instead of reacting to it. But yeah, that was cool. His luckiness being showcased in both episode 1 and episode 2. Not only, of course, he is very powerful, but even the luck element was a interesting thing to see. And the second thing was, they did a phenomenal job with screenplay. I want to talk about that. The way they structured the episode, the way they placed the scenes, or the different types of scenes that took place in the episode. Just to give you an example, like right about in the scene when both the S-rank hunters are about to fight, they cut it and they played a scene about. They cut it and they played a scene in the dungeon. Again, they came out and showed that the White Tiger Guild's boss's assistant, maybe, I don't know what his name is actually. Like, I'm forgetting his name, but he stops them. I hope that you guys know who I'm talking about, but he basically stops both the S-rankers. And now then again we go back to the story that is happening in the dungeon, and we come out while where these guys are discussing with each other and everything. So yeah, the way they are playing with the hype, playing with the scenes, like giving us a little bit of treat in the dungeon fight scene. Again, they are coming out, giving us a treat with the S-rankers interacting and everything. So that was cool. The way they are showing it, like I was noticing it, like them showing us a big spectacle, pulling us back so that we would want more of it, and then again giving us so that tactic, everything. That was cool. So nice job, the way they directed and everything. So not only screenplay, the camera placement, I know it's a virtual camera, they animated it, but the camera placement, the angles that they used, not everything was in the center of the screen. Sometimes they were placing at their feet. Sometimes they were showing a wide shots and everything. So everything, they did an absolutely great job. And coming to that, again, the direction in Iron's intro, it was so nonchalant. Like all the other arises, as he said, he already did it. This was going to be the third time, but he did Igris Arise. It was the first time he used Arise, so of course it was going to be dramatic, and he used polar base. So he used Arise to summon the polar base and the polar bear king and everything. So that was a little bit dramatic. But Iron's intro, his arrival or his extraction, that was so nonchalant, that was so just a moment in a battle. It was nice to see, like it was so fresh, and like I was like, what? He just killed a guy who was going to attack him, of course. So it was not a psychopathic thing to do. Like he was attacking him, so he had to kill him, Sun Jin-woo. But I don't know, I like to see that impact him again more. Like I like to see the consequence of him killing people. Most probably we will see. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil anything. As a manhwa reader, I don't remember much of it anyway. But that was like, he killed him. He extracted the air encounter. He even named him. He said Iron. He used him. All of this happened in just maybe 1 second while the boss was running towards him. That was so quick, and so like I was what is this? This is so fast and everything. I do remember Iron through Manhwa, but I forgot that he was going to come into play like this. So yeah, as you can see, I do remember Iron as a tank guy, as a tank shadow, but I forgot when he was going to enter. So that was surprising to see. So that was cool. The way they not only, like, I'm not only talking about the direction of the anime, I'm talking about the direction in the manhwa too. Of course, this happened in the manhwa the same way, so I'm not crediting it to the anime directors, but even then, the story, the way the manga or the manhwa writer wrote the story, manhwa author wrote the story, that scene was cool. So I'm not only talking about the anime, I'm also reviewing the story of in the manhwa too, in a way. And the next point I like to talk about is not specifically about screenplay or direction, but even in the story, the plot thickened in this episode. They revealed some things. The first point they revealed was why these monsters are hunting humans, why these monsters are fighting humans. So basically, they do this, as the boss revealed, they hear a voice in their ear continuously whenever they encounter a human. Kill human, kill human, kill human. And that's why they kill. That's why all the monsters kill. So that's interesting. So we now know a little more about the world. Like something is happening, something is controlling. Of course, since season 1 we did know about the system that was giving Sun Jin-woo these powers and everything. But now we know that the system is also behind, might be also behind these monsters hunting humans. So that was cool to know basically what's happening, why these monsters are hunting. Like these monsters are not barbaric or unintelligent. They are intelligent, but they are being compelled to attack. So that was nice, and the plot thickens more. Like the boss says that Sun Jin-woo is not human. Of course he is human, but as Sun Jin-woo himself has speculated, it might be because he has become a player, so he has come out of the system. So it might, that is hinting towards something that is going to happen in the future. But as you can see, now we see that these enemies do not see Sun Jin-woo as a threat. They are compelled to attack him, but they will attack. As you can see, the boss attacked if they need to. But yeah, Sun Jin-woo is in the eyes of the monsters, he is not human anymore. So that was nice. And the third moment that was cool to see was where the plot thickened more, was when Sun Jin-woo asked, who are you? Why do you attack? Where did you come from? And the boss tries to explain, or boss tries to reveal, but he glitches out. So that's again, I think so, where the system intervened and basically censored him in a way. So the mystery thickens and the mystery is increasing. I have more questions. Again, anime original might have more questions and like where this is happening, but that definitely increased the curiosity. Like something is happening and I like to know more. So that was nice. And finally, I like to talk about the extraction point. Like he tried to extract or use Arise on the boss, but he could not. And the reason behind it was, as maybe Sun Jin-woo speculated, I don't know if it is the actual reason, but I think so, Sun Jin-woo speculated that it was because there was a huge gap between the level of the boss and Sanjin Woo. So that is the limitation now. We know that not so this power is not limitless power. The power has limitations, and one of them is that Sanjin Woo at least has to be in the radius of the power of the boss or the enemy that he is trying to extract or use the rise on. And this time he failed. He tried 3 times but he could not. So wow, boss was that strong, huh? Sanjin Woo was not even in the perimeter of the boss's power. So this was a close fight. That tells us that this fight was so close, and even the luckiness of Sanjin Woo helped. So yeah, that was great. That the way they tied in everything, and we saw world building, a lot of more world building, like S-rank hunters clashing and what that can happen and how dangerous that is, limitations of Sanjin Woo's power, and the behind the scenes of why the monsters and all this attacking. So this episode 2 was definitely very, very, very valuable, and it was jam packed with animation fights, world building and everything. So it was cool. So yeah, with that I like to come to the last and final section, the fourth section, my favorite moments. I like to talk a few words about all the favorite moments. I have few favorite moments in this episode, so that can already tell you how great this episode was. So my first favorite moment was different languages, like monsters speaking different languages. Like when they started speaking in English, I thought, oh come on, like are they going to really do that? Are the monsters really going to talk in the same language as the humans? And they quickly hit me back with the different languages movement. So basically monsters are speaking in different language. The reason they are speaking in Japanese or Korean or English, depending on what language you are viewing it in, it is because it is to make us understand. It is for our own convenience. But when Sanjin Woo answers, I thought, okay, they are speaking English or he knows their language. But no, even Sanjin Woo is surprised to know that he can speak his language and he can understand them. So that was such a cool moment. Wow, okay, so something is happening. Even Sanjin Woo doesn't know his limits of his power, or basically the extent of his power, and even boss is surprised. Even the low rank hunters behind him are surprised. So that was a nice moment, nice surprise, nice piece of world building. That was cool. The second favorite moment that I very much liked was the no nonsense beheading. Like when the boss was trying to say, my guy, my right hand, I am going to say he was the right hand, but this right hand guy like to compete with you, and next second his head is falling on the floor. That was so cool. And yeah, I don't have much to talk about it, but that was a cool scene. And the third favorite moment was the beg your pardon moment. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. The beg your pardon moment when the boss says you're outnumbered, so you can't fight, and Sanjin Woo says beg your pardon, and he literally summons his whole army, the shadow army. So that was a cool moment. And in the next amazing moment that I like, and this is might possibly my most favorite moment of this episode, and that is Sanjin Woo catching the arrow released by the ice elves to it. This moment, the moment I'm talking about is when the ice elves are aiming towards the low rank hunters who are running away from the battle, and right as they release the arrow, in that split second Sanjin Woo appears, catches the arrow and kills all the three of the ice elves that were trying to launch the arrows. That was such a cool choreography, such a cool movement, such a cool moment of animation too. It was so crisp and everything. Wait a second, I like to show it. So yeah, exactly, this is the moment I'm talking about. It's so cool. Again, I like to repeat it. See this? The way he entered the frame and everything. Again, let's go back a little bit. Yeah, the arrow getting launched, and him man, this is so nice, so tasty to see. Like him catching the arrow, stabbing them with that arrow, kicking them, and beheading and basically chomping all the ice elves in bits and pieces. Yeah, and again standing upright. This was such a cool moment. Such a cool moment, man. Wow. Yeah, so that is going to be my favorite moment. But there is one more favorite moment I like to talk about, and that is the glowing ass face off scene. And I like to show you that too. Not only talk about it, but it was in the final moment. The White Tigers Guild boss basically tries to talk with Sanjin Woo, and Sanjinu says, I am tired, I can't speak more about it, but he says, we have to speak. So Sanjinu answers, you have to thank me, bitch, in that way. So this was a cool moment. The face off between S rank hunter and a E rank hunter. On the paper, E rank hunter, but yeah, all the scenes and basically them facing off and the S rank hunter, basically the White Tigers Guild's head letting Sanjin Woo go. I should not say letting, but yeah, basically him saying sorry and apologizing and everything. This whole scene, beautiful. Like the power play, the status play that was happening. First of all, he faced off the White Tigers Guild boss. He faced off with another S rank hunter. So that was cool. Like S rank hunters interacting and showing off their power. That reminded me of the moment in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super actually. Like I don't know how many of you guys watched it, but in that there are multiple God of Deaths in multiple universe. Hopefully that is not a big spoiler for you guys. If you guys watch it, it's going to take a lot of time to reach there. But multiple God of Deaths, and in one particular moment in anime, two God of Deaths try to fight each other. So that moment, like this moment, S9 Hunters fighting and basically this face off, and the Sanjay and the God of Deaths fighting off, that felt the same way. The gravitas in the interaction, everything. So this face off was cool, and the way Sanjinu activated his glowing eyes to showcase his power, that represents his power. And even the White Tiger Guild's yellow eyes, so him transforming into the White Tiger, that is symbolic. So that was cool. So yeah, that's all guys, that were my favorite moments. Such a great episode. I know I have been yapping a lot, but there are so many things to discuss in this anime. I've made a conscious attempt to make this video as short as possible, but it's already 29 minutes, 30 minutes, so I can't do anything about it. It was such a great moment and such a great episode. There are a lot of things to talk about, so I hopefully you're not bored. I had touched all the important topics in this episode, but before ending this video, I like to just see the public opinion and what the other people are saying about this episode. So let's go on to X for a few seconds and just see if I have missed something to talk about. Well, we are on X, and as you can see, the first thing I see is this tweet about Solo Leveling Season 2. Solo Leveling's producer Sotafur Hashi from Aniplex. Okay, in Season 2, we will also turn the spotlight on the supporting characters. So yeah, that's great to see. Not on the Season 1 definitely lagged in that part of the department. Like Season 1 was completely about Sanjinu, hyping up Sanjinu, one man army Sanjinu. But now we are going to focus on the side characters a little bit, more about the side characters. We even saw the psychic state of the A rank hunter, the Wang and the White Tiger Guild's boss fighting each other. So this episode definitely gave them a lot of screen time, and also Sanjin Wo. So that we can see evidently, as the producer himself is saying. So they are going to focus more on world building also in this episode. They need to, because they need a lot of world building to explain the Jeju Island arc. Basically, the different types of politics that takes place during that arc. So yeah, this is going to be exciting, guys. This is a great news for Solo Leveling viewers. We are going to have a great season, evidently, from episode 1 and episode 2, as we can see. Yeah, guys, that's the end of my review. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my yapping, and it's your chance now, your chance to express your thoughts and interact with me and discuss with me. So to do that, you guys can do that in the comment section. Please share your thoughts, share your opinions, share your feedback. If I should tone down the video, if I should not spend more time in this department or this section, or speak more about in this section, or if I missed anything that you guys picked up, please comment down below. Come in the comment section. I read all the comments. I reply to each and one of them. You guys can check out my other reactions too. I reply to each and every comment. So I'm eager to interact with you guys. So please guys, show your support in that way too. The more you interact with this video, the more the YouTube algorithm will share these videos to other people too, and it will help me grow and it will motivate me to make more videos. So please guys, if you like this review, like, share, subscribe and push the notification bell so that you get notified when my other videos drop. I react to I'm reacting to currently, Sakamoto Days. So if you are interested in that, please check it out. The episode 1's reaction just dropped. I already uploaded the video yesterday, so that's great. So please check that out. And I have a huge catalog of reactions that I have already done, which is Dan Dan, Blue Lock, Mushoku Tensei, Kaiju number 8, a lot of things. And the links to the playlist are in my description, so please check them out. All of the links are in the description, so please check them out. So yeah, help me out, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I like to thank all the people who are returning to this video. Thank you guys, thank you so much for your support. And the newcomers, please stick around, please join the journey. And yeah, finally, once again, thank you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll meet you guys in the next video.